Hello and welcome to the Face Downs. We are here with Lucas, Ruben, and Joe. We are here in Auckland and we have just concluded the Oceanic Yugioh Championship for 2022. It's sitting in front of us is Dino Spisovsky. Dino, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I just won. I'm the best player in Oceania.
Do you want to let us know about your record before we get into the deck profile?
So through Swiss and Top Cut, 14-0. Just not a single match dropped.
So we are 8 rounds of Swiss and 6 rounds of Top Cut. What were you playing today?
I was playing TEARLAMENT.
Wow, my favorite strategy for Power of the Elements. All right, anything you want to say before we get into the profile?
Dangers suck.
Sell nessies.
Sell nessies right now.
nessies.
All right, let's get into this profile. All right, Dino, start us off.
Sweet. For the basics, 3 Merly. I'm just not going to explain the basics of TEARLAMENT. You have to run 3 Merly, you have to run 3 Havness, you have to run 3 Sharon, you have to run 3 Rhino Heart, and the honorary 13th main deck TEARLAMENT monster Snow. If you're not running this,
Big
please
thing.
run this. She won way too many games. MVP by far of the deck in terms of TEARLAMENT monsters. Then the weird part of my deck, I ran hand traps, so I ran 2
What are
Ash
those?
Blossoms. Yeah, I know, right? They stop desires and they blow up fields. Master has some pretty good animations on them, right? 3 DD Crow and 2 of the Golden Boy Nib in the main deck. So the Crows and the Nibs were both insane. I played all of the good tier players. All of them are really sad that it wasn't from Dangers, and all of them are really sad when they set up the whole like Curious Elf Dweller board and they just got Nibiru'd.
So you main deck inclusion totally paid off?
Oh, 100%. That's the only reason I won. Yeah, hand trap's good. Danger's bad. That's all for the monsters. Exactly 20 monsters. Half the deck, played 40 flat. Then spells, 3 Paralino. Shout out to James English, who apparently top 16 playing TEARLAMENT with no field spell because he couldn't afford them.
Wow.
The deck's that good.
He was a state champion, so
That was our
Yeah.
South Island champion, yes.
And then the terraforming, and that's all for field spells. Just 4 Paralinos. And then the other MVP, glued to my hand, Sewer Polymerization. This card is not okay. People think mine needs to be banned. It does. This card also needs to be banned. Guru just makes this card too free in every single situation. It just says win the game.
So broken. Can't respond.
Yep, spell speed for
Cast effect
2
priority.
desires. Nobody playing Ash, apparently. Didn't get Ashed once. Drew it every single game almost, and just, yes, says draw 2 cards. I like cards. Insane this deck. Everything's a 3 of. You don't care if you manage it. Then the strong one of spells, Instant Fusion. Funnily enough, one guy Necrovalleyed me, and then the next turn I top decked Instant Fusion, and then he realized, oh shit, Necrovalley doesn't work anymore, and then demise the land for another mine, so that was cool. We win those. Called by the Grave,
Broken one off.
it stops hand traps, but realistically, banished many snows out of my opponent's graveyards. They weren't happy. Foolish Burial, just another tier name, and Rota, because another tier name.
In that deck.
No danger, just have to run consistency cards. And then for the trap cards, 1 Soliac and 1 Meta Noise. It's crazy to me that people read what Meta Noise does. Like, tier players read what Meta Noise does, as if they haven't read the card or considered it in their deck building. They don't know the grave effect, they don't know the flip effect. They didn't realize that even Bowden in the finals had to ask a judge about how A then B conjunctions worked. Definitely need some help on that. 2 Dynamiscuses. Just main deck mine out. That card's legal. You have to play mine out. It's really annoying, but what can you do? And then 3 more hand traps, infinite impermanence. It's a purple card, and you can't call by the Graver. Beats Carrot. It's just an insane trap card.
And so Dynamiscus came up in more ways than one?
No, it was literally just Dynamiscus, activate Dynamiscus. I never used the grave effect of it. I could have. Didn't matter if I did or not.
All right, and that's 40 cards.
Yeah, 40 cards flat.
That's pretty clean. All right.
Then
Extra
moving on
deck.
to the extra deck, we've got your standard 2 Kikalos and 1 Kaleido Heart. Yeah, these cards are good. I found out after the finals that Kikalos triggers on special, not just fusion, so that's cool.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I should read my cards. Then your other fusions that you run this deck, Madragon Swamp, Garura, Draxopelia. Yeah, nothing special, just one of everything. If you play your resources correctly, just can loop them forever.
Thanks TCG exclusives.
Yeah, I never ran out of any of them. I played against tier players that decided to make Garura and Madragon and Draxopelia in their first turn, and then they could not play the game anymore. Then it comes to XIZs. I played a Toad. This is because I had a Bahamut, and one time I made a Toad with 2 Merleys, and then it proceeded to get Dark Rulet, so that was fun. But yeah, Bahamut into Toad, and then that into Area, or just using the Bahamut as link material for anything else is really nice. Double toting Sprite players is lots of fun. And then Redoer, the best rank 4 in this deck, by far.
Some people cut Redoer, I saw.
Yeah, everyone was cutting the rank 4s and XIZs, and yeah, they... I don't know what to
They're
say.
good.
They're so good. Then almost MVP, won every tier mirror, Abyss Dweller, speaks for himself, says no.
Just so powerful.
Yeah,
Did you consider sorting that out? Or?
like maybe if I had a Cowboy, but like... nah, it's,
Dweller plus Nibiru, I
he
guess.
stayed in, but yeah, Dweller plus Nibiru, Dweller plus Zeus, Dweller plus everything just gets there. I played a Sprite player, he let me summon a Redoer, go into battle phase, beat over his elf, enter main phase 2, and then summon the Zeus before he realized, oh crap, and then he flipped smashes when the Zeus was already on the field. And he had my Kit Kalos set to his field, so he did not win that exchange.
Thanks for letting me send a card from field to
And
grave.
then the 4 link monsters, we've got a Dark, we've got an Area, and we've got an Elf for the link 2s. They all came up. Stealing Toads is nice, stealing everything is nice, and summoning level 2 is nice, and target protection, it came up. Overall, Elf was probably the weakest performer out of all of them, even though I probably summoned him the most, just because generic link 2 with Merle. And then the last card, Underworld Goddess, she is Bae. She just outs things that should not be outable.
Yeah. So anything that didn't perform in terms of like link monsters, did anything like you wished you'd swapped X for Z, X for Y?
Definitely, everything came up. I used every single card in my extra deck more than 4 or 5 times this entire event. There's nothing really. Honestly, I'd almost want a second second Kaleido Heart, just so you can play real fast with the first one and set her up with Salak on turn 1, and then when your opponent smashes it, you can summon another one and end their day. But other than that, everything else was really amazing.
Yeah, I mean there's so many good cards. All right, and then the side deck.
And the side deck, the 3rd nib. Yeah, that's why I always had it. It was just in the side deck. 2 Ghost Ogres, I never drew them. 3 Lava Golems, they're cool. Yeah, saw the feature match in the finals. They trigger the Havness I had in hand, and I just proceeded to mill nothing, so that was cool.
Yeah. But so that was your main reason for the interaction?
That was one of the reasons Lava Golem over Svemo. The other one was against the Sprite players, you just tribute over 2 of the monsters, and you can Sewer Poly away Lava Golem and Elf if you left Elf on the board. And you could just beat over it. That's really not an okay... Svemo can't be beaten over, which is a really big problem. And one time as well, I Lava Golem the guy, and then had to crash my Kaleido Heart into it so I could Kit Kalos bring it back because I didn't have any other tears in hand or grave. Yeah, that won me that match. And then the extra tear trap cards on the side for going first. A Sulliek, a Crime. Crime really underperformed. It was a cozy card to have. I never resolved it.
I think people see it and then play around it, and it just does its job.
Yeah, people see
you
you
don't have to
search
activate it.
Crime, and then they assume it's live.
They just don't activate their Dark Rule no more. They just
And because
don't.
it's a shuffling removal rather than destruction, it gets around a lot of things, and people just play real awkwardly into it, and then you just use your cards in other ways. One of the big downsides of this deck is you have too many discard outlets with Sewer Poly and Dynamiscus, and you want to keep your Havness and all your hand traps you want to use as hand traps. It's kind of nice having them as discards if they're dead in the matchup, but every hand trap just overperformed. And then honorary one red reboot because you have to. It's still legal. You have to run it.
Back rows everywhere.
Yeah. Lets you win games. And then 2 Unending Nightmare because screw Mystic Mine.
Absolutely not. Did you find this came up in any other application or?
I never drew it.
Okay.
The one time you saw it was
Yeah, it hit the field one time when I End-Phase Dynamiscus a Mystic Mine, and then they rebooted me, and then with the reboot, I said Unending Nightmare, and they just gave up at that point. They realized they saw the writing on the wall. More backer removal, Twin Twisters and Harpies. Twin Twisters is probably the weakest card. I never put it in. Honestly, probably just an evenly match would have been nicer. Duster came in, never saw it.
Did you want more back row removal? Did you feel like you wanted it? Or?
No, I feel like with the amount I ran the main against side, that's like 8 pieces total. Unending Nightmare being forever. I never ran into problems with mine. Every time someone activated mine on me, they swiftly lost the game. Including when I activated it one time and then never sided it back in. This card should be banned.
And it never won you a game?
No. The one time I activated it, I lost. And never sided in after that.
Terrible card. Don't play it.
Bad
No
card.
problem.
Everyone's prepared for it. Bad card.
All right. Well, there we go. So 14-0 after Swiss and Top Cut. Is there anything you would like to say to the people that are out there and wanting to prepare? Anything you want to say to the people who've just seen you undefeated on stream?
Watch the face downs for all things Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yes! Well, as always, thank you so much for watching. I'm Ruben.
and Lucas.
I'm Jack.
I'm Dino.
And you've been listening and watching to The Face Downs.